1980, a pivotal moment in history. It was the aftermath of the infamous failed operation known as Eagle Claw, a mission that aimed to rescue American hostages in Iran. During this turmoil, a man named Richard Marcinko stepped onto the stage of destiny. He had a vision that would give birth to the legendary SEAL Team 6, a name that would soon resonate worldwide. The United States and the Soviet Union were locked in a tense standoff known as the Cold War. In this high-stakes game of international intrigue, spies seemed to be hiding around every corner, lurking in the shadows. And the U.S. Navy found itself at a crossroads. They needed to do something extraordinary, something daring, to safeguard their nation's security. The Navy had a singular mission in mind: to identify those strategic points where they were most vulnerable, even in places they believed were impenetrable fortresses. It was Admiral James Lyons who had a vision that matched the momentousness of the times. He turned to Richard Marcinko, a man who was about to embark on a journey that would change the course of history forever. Now let's fast forward 4 pivotal years to 1984. By this time, the world had witnessed some incredible developments, both on the global stage and within the U.S. Navy. It was during this period that a significant transformation was taking place. In the years leading up to 1984, SEAL Team 6, under the leadership of Richard Marcinko, had been honing their skills to perfection. They were known for their daring missions and incredible achievements, and their reputation as an elite fighting force was spreading like wildfire. But here's where things get truly remarkable. In 1984, Richard Marcinko made a bold decision. He handed over the reins of SEAL Team 6 to Commander Robert Gormly because he had an even bolder plan in mind. Marcinko envisioned the creation of a 14-man unit that would push the boundaries of what was possible. This new unit, which would soon be known as Red Cell, was far from ordinary. These individuals were hand-picked for their exceptional skills and unwavering dedication. Their mission was to expose the weak spots in military bases like never before. They used fake IDs, seamlessly blending into the shadows of secrecy. They took down fences with precision, leaving no room for error. And, believe it or not, they even dared to snatch up high-ranking officers, all in the name of uncovering vulnerabilities that could potentially threaten national security. Now, you might be wondering why they chose the name Red Cell for this audacious unit. Well, it's a fascinating piece of history. During the height of the Cold War, when military strategists were constantly simulating various scenarios, they often used the term Red Cell to refer to the opposing force in these war games. This term was a nod to the sea of red flags commonly associated with communist nations, particularly the Soviet Union. But the story doesn't stop there. The Red Cell team had an ingenious approach to documenting their daring exploits. They didn't just rely on written reports or after-action debriefings. No, they took things to a whole new level. To maximize the educational value of their missions and ensure every detail was captured, they enlisted a video crew equipped with specialized low-light equipment. Now here's the twist. The video crew wasn't just there to observe from the sidelines. They had to be as stealthy and daring as the Red Cell members themselves. They infiltrated the very bases where the missions unfolded, ensuring they were in the heart of the action. Talk about dedication and nerve. In 1985, the team pulled off an unbelievable stunt, placing fake explosives on the roof of a command center. They took hostages and carried out pretend attacks. Security hadn't improved at the Navy's nuclear submarine base either. Red Cell members casually strolled onto a nuclear missile submarine during the day. Let's dive deeper into how Red Cell operated. Their audacious operations weren't just for show, they had a profound purpose. Each mission was meticulously recorded and later presented for examination. This wasn't just about daring stunts. It was about shining a spotlight on vulnerabilities within the military that needed urgent attention and rectification. Now, you might be wondering about the rules within this unconventional unit. Well, here's the fascinating part. There weren't many. Under the leadership of Richard Marcinko, Red Cell had an unprecedented level of autonomy. Unlike conventional military units with strict regulations, these elite operatives had the freedom to chart their own course, to push boundaries, and to test limits. But, as with any exceptional freedom, it came with its share of challenges. This unconventional approach sometimes led to controversial behavior. During their off-duty hours, it's no secret that Red Cell members enjoyed their fair share of drinking and occasionally even found themselves in heated scuffles. Now hold on to your seats, because we're about to unravel a jaw-dropping turn of events that took place in the year 1986. Picture this. Red Cell, known for their audacious missions, found themselves in the midst of an exercise that would push the boundaries of their daring exploits to an unimaginable level. During this particular exercise, the Red Cell members made a shocking move. They abducted a civilian security guard named Ronald D. Sheridan. The very idea of capturing someone might seem like a vulnerability, but what unfolded next would leave you utterly flabbergasted. Sheridan, an unsuspecting civilian security guard, suddenly found himself thrust into a situation beyond his wildest nightmares. He was subjected to a brutal interrogation that would test the limits of human endurance. The Red Cell members didn't hold back. They pushed him around, roughed him up, and even subjected him to repeated submersion into a bathtub filled with water and a flushing toilet. Imagine the sheer terror and confusion he must have felt during those agonizing 30 hours. The situation had spiraled far beyond what anyone could have anticipated. Sheridan's desperate cries and concerns about a possible broken rib echoed in the room as the unthinkable unfolded. But, my friends, the story takes an unexpected twist. As the ordeal continued, Red Cell members, perhaps realizing the gravity of their actions, shifted gears. They asked Sheridan to confirm his identity, as if suddenly realizing the gravity of their actions. And then, astonishingly, they left him on the bedroom floor. Ronald D. Sheridan's life would never be the same again after those harrowing hours. He would go on to undergo a year of physical therapy, both physically and emotionally scarred by an ordeal that defied all logic and reason. In the aftermath of this shocking incident, the repercussions were felt far and wide. Ronald D. Sheridan, understandably traumatized and physically injured, took a courageous step. He filed a staggering $6 million lawsuit, seeking justice for the unimaginable ordeal he had endured. The legal battle that ensued would become a symbol of the extraordinary circumstances surrounding the Red Cell. But here's where things get even more intriguing. Richard Marcinko, the mastermind behind Red Cell, found himself facing legal troubles. Yet, he had a perspective that added a layer of complexity to the entire saga. Marcinko claimed that the government's response was more than just a reaction to a rogue unit. He argued that the government was, in fact, embarrassed by the problems Red Cell had boldly exposed within the U.S. military. As time marched on, Red Cell met its end in 1992. The curtain closed on this enigmatic and unconventional unit, but their legacy, filled with audacious missions, unorthodox methods, and the blurred line between heroism and recklessness, lives on. That's a wrap for today's video. If you enjoyed this mind-blowing story, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more content like this. Thanks for watching and stay curious.